Hello and good morning, my friends. You know what today is? This is day 3 of me counting these doggone worms, and I don't think I will ever do this again. So for those of you who guessed 1,000 worms, you were wrong. For those of you who guessed 1,100 or 1,200 or 1,300 or 1,400 or 1,500 or 1,600, you were wrong. Turned out I had 1,648 worms in here, and they weighed just over 12 ounces, so there were a lot of small ones. But I wanted to show this to you, and I'm hoping that I can flip this and show it to you before they disappear. But here goes. So here we are. Oops, they're sticking. And you can see they are everywhere. I mean, there's some nice sized worms there. So I'm going to cover them again because I don't want them to get in here quite yet. And this was perfect because it kept them dark and it kept them contained. So as I got each 100, I threw them in there, and they stayed very happy. They didn't wander. I have this idea that I want to run by you guys, and I hope this is going to work. And I thought about an in-bin worm tower. Now I've made some holes, and this is cardboard. This, by the way, was from a panko container. You know, you could use anything that was cardboard, and this cardboard is flexible, and I think once it gets wet, it's going to be really, you know, it'll break down. But I just made the holes at the bottom, and I know they're going to be able to get in and around it. Now, this sits up higher than my air holes, so I'm not going to fill this the whole way up. What I want to do is I want to fill this area with bedding, and then I'm going to put all of my food, really, you know, mushy food items in here, and I'm going to put the worms basically out here, and they'll have food source. But then I want to see if they really draw into here, into the food. So what I have is I have potato peels, and I have bananas, and I have celery, and there's some strawberry tops, and we have lots and lots of goodies for them. Did I mention that they came out to 14, it was just a little over 14 ounces, 1,648 worms, just a little over 14 ounces. So like I said, they were tiny, they were small. I ended up getting just right at 10 pounds of castings. Now I'm not going to add I have really moist food for them that I put in the NutriBullet, but I'm not going to quite put that in yet. What I want to do is I want to put in this cardboard that is gone through the NutriBullet, and it's very fluffy, and it's a little dusty. I'm not really planning well, I guess I really should wet this down a bit. And the only thing I have to wet it with right here at the moment is my worm tea that I made, and I think that would probably, wow, what a great source of moisture, huh? Worm tea for them. And then I also have my leaves, my Drake elm leaves, that I pulverized in the NutriBullet. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more liquid to that. I don't want the worms to choke. Little chuckle there. This did take me 3 days. I don't think I'll ever do that again. I mean, it was a fun thing to do. It seemed like a great idea, Patrick. Patrick likes to count his worms over in Vermicompost Learn by Doing, and he does very well at it. I don't know if he's ever gone to 1,648, but I'm sure you'll let me know, Patrick. So we're gonna kind of mush this together. Mush, mush, mush. It's starting to feel a little moist with that. And the coffee is a food source. It's not grit. It's not rough enough to be grit. The worms need grit for their gizzard, so I'm going to give them eggshell throughout. Let me see. Come on. There we go. There's the ticket. So they've got plenty of that. Making a nice little round for them. You want to give them anything else? Well, let's see. We have the grit. I wanted to make this high enough so that they can get to the holes. I did have a lot of stuff left over as I was pulling it out. You know, I picking up little bits and pieces, a leaf or something that didn't quite make it, something stick. I don't think I'll give them that. But we'll just fill it up just high enough so that they can get back and forth. I'm sure there's probably more worms. I know I missed worms because my eyeballs were... Matter of fact, there's one guy that didn't join the party. I also, the first 2 days that I did it, these were the first 500 worms, and I was keeping the cocoons separate, and then I just added the cocoons in there. But I just wanted to show you let's see if we can flip it. And yeah, there's a bunch of worms. I'll pull out what's in here. But you can see there's loads of worms. And I'm just going to hang on to this and add the first 500 to this side. I had added some cardboard because I just didn't want them spending 3 days laying on top of themselves. There you are, wormies. Let me just rinse my fingers here a little bit. And here I'm going to give the other worms this side. We're going to do it in so you can see it again. What's the fascination with watching worms move? I think it's incredible. All right, boys and girls, everybody off the bus. Or as my dad used to say after his Navy days, okay, everybody, hit the deck. My sister and I had no idea what he was talking about. My husband, who was 6 years in the Navy, said, every floor is a deck, every toilet is a head, and every floor is a deck, every toilet is a head, and every door is a hatch. There, I think I got that right. And okay, so now we have approximately 650 worms in here that we're going to move around. I'm now going to add this mush. Ugh, doesn't that sound good? Didn't that sound inviting? As you can see, it's really, I mean, it was frozen everything. And I just want to see if the worms are drawn in here. And I'm going to add a little bit more grit on top of that. And then on top of that, I have shrimp shells that I had pulverized also in the NutriBullet, and it provides chitin for them, which is very good for us, and it's also very good for them. It's, you know, good for your bones. So we'll give them a little bit of that. And I think that's probably going to be it. I think maybe, what else can I top it with? What else have we got here that we can feed these guys? How about just a little bit more coffee grounds on top of this, just to keep it all. I feel like I'm building a bullet or a bomb or something. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Sorry. I would never. Okay, so I think that's it. I think we've packed them in. I'm not going to add anything else on top. My hands have been dirty for 3 days, and I will be happy to get them clean again. I feel like I'm back in. I can I can cook dinner without scrubbing my cuticles raw. All right, so now you have it. Now you saw the final. For anybody who wants to start out doing this, I mean, this is only a 3-gallon container. It's just a Rubbermaid. I mean, how much would that cost? And I have people tell me that they find red wigglers out in their garden, and I think that's incredible because I was told that they wouldn't survive. But after doing this since 2009, I find that I do see red wigglers, but they're usually in my containers. You know, if I have a clay pot or if I have an oblong plastic container that I keep, it stays pretty moist, I'll find my wigglers in there. But I think they've come from my original group. I never saw them before that. So anyway, that was it. I hope that this was entertaining for you and that you sympathize with my eyes and my back and my everything else that I counted these for you. 1,648 worms. On that note, I will say aloha, and I hope to see you guys all real soon. Take care, everybody. Thumbs up. Bye.